I'm in the tomato tunnel, and going to pick some of the ripe tomatoes. I've got a big bucket here. I'm hoping to have enough for making some bottled sauces. I did a video last year on how to preserve your tomato harvest. So if you check back on my playlist for preserving vegetables and things, it should be there, but I'll put a link in the description box as well. So let's get started. I've got some of these smaller Ukrainian purple tomatoes. I've grown about 3 or 4 varieties in this tomato tunnel. I've got the Ukrainian purple, and I've got the Crimson Crush, which are a bit further down. I've got some Mini Bell, which are some nice cherry-sized tomatoes. I've got Tigerella, and Tigerella, Mini Bell, Crimson Crush, yeah, Ukrainian purple. So I've got 4 varieties in here, so I'll carry on picking them. And this is what I've got so far. This is about the 2nd or 3rd harvest of this size. And I'll be making some bottled passata. And I've done a video of that last year, and you can find it in my playlist. Hey, Mr. Tom. Hello. It's getting to be that time of year when Tom's attentions turn to lady goats. So he starts hanging around the fence in hopes that I'm going to bring some of the nannies into the field. But of course, I'm not going to do that when he's in there. Tom and his buddy Tidder will go back into their little paddock because we have to plan these get-togethers. Anyway, I know it's getting to be that time of year because Tom's beginning to get a bit smelly. Sorry, Tom. You're a very handsome boy, but you do smell a lot, and you have some revolting Billy boy habits, which I will not discuss too much on the video. But I will let you know that one of the bad habits includes peeing on his own beard. And that's like aftershave in reverse to the ladies. It's supposed to be quite an attractive smell to girl goats, but not to girl humans. Now, here's a little update on the Transatlantic Melon Challenge. I have got, not quite ready to harvest, but soon to be harvested, Minnesota midget melons. I've got 1, 2, 3 on this plant here, which are good size. This one needs a little bit more, I think, but this one and this one will be ready soon. Right, so I'm in the sweet corn patch now, and I think there's a few cobs on there that I could pick for our dinner tonight. The variety is early bird, although we're into September, so I'm not sure it's been that early, but it's a nice variety, very sweet and tasty. So some of you who might be new to growing sweet corn will say, how do you know when it's ready to pick? Well, let's have a look at one of them. Okay, we've got one here. I don't know if you can see it. Good camera view here. First of all, the silks at the top should be quite dry and brown. The cob itself should feel quite fat. Right, I've turned the camera around so you can see better. I pulled down a few of the leaves. These are looking ready. You can pierce one of the kernels. And it's supposed to give off a milky fluid, but I can just tell by looking at these that they're ready. They're yellow and they're plump without being overcrowded. So I'm going to pick that one. So you take it and you bend it down and you twist. And there you have it, a nice ear of sweet corn. Right, so I'm going to pick another one. One for Bob, one for me. I've got another one here. Again, silks are dry on the top. The cob is quite plump. When I peel it back, you can see some lovely plump kernels without being overcrowded or overgrown. Sweet corn is one of my favorite summertime treats. You don't need a huge amount of space to grow enough for a summertime treat. I've got this as part of a planting in a big square raised bed. So I would say the area that they're in is about 3 feet or a meter by about 10 feet. And I've got maybe 25 plants there. And each plant seems to have a couple of cobs. So we're going to have quite a few cobs of sweet corn. But if you have smaller gardens and you can fit one of these, which is a pallet collar, which is usually 80 centimeters or not quite 3 feet by 1 meter 20. I'm just trying to work out the imperial to metric, but they're small. They're about 3 feet by 4 feet, and when I was living more in town in the past, I've managed to grow at least 12 plants in that. They grow better in a block rather than in straight lines because pollination is better. They need to be kind of near each other for pollination. So at least 3 plants, 3 or 4 plants across by as many as you can fit into the row. And some of you may remember the purple beans that I was growing back in June that were just struggling with the cold weather. They're taking their time to grow and to climb up the bean poles. Well, they've finally done it. They've reached the top of the bean poles, about 7 foot high. I'm getting lots of these purple beans. And I'll be picking a load of these today as well. They are beautiful. They taste good. They're easy to find amongst the green foliage. And when you cook them, they turn green again, which is kind of sad because I quite like the color. But they are tasty. And they are prolific. And if you leave them long enough, they'll produce sort of white haricot type beans inside, which are good for drying. Here in the polytunnel, my sweet peppers, pointy sweet peppers, are turning red now. So I'll be picking those too and chopping them up and freezing some of them. And using them in things like ratatouille as well. Which reminds me, I have got some eggplant or aubergine to pick as well. They're doing very well. These are the pot black, a small hybrid variety that grows well in the UK climate. But I've also got this white one, which is a heritage variety called Dorga. The seeds from the Real Seed Company, or Real Seeds. And they're a white variety, and I've got a few of those growing in here, as well as another variety called Long Purple, which I think is quite a popular variety. The plants grow quite tall. They're about 3 foot high. And the fruit is also long. So I need to get picking those and make something like ratatouille or some curries. Eggplant curry, aubergine curry is really delicious. The texture, I love the texture, and the aubergines just pick up the flavor of the spices really well. And if you watched my last video, you'll remember that I was saving some lettuce seeds, and I took the mature plants with the fluffy bits and put them in a paper feed sack. Here they are all dried now, and there I am extracting the seeds from the plants. Now the little black things falling into the tray are the actual seeds themselves. But there's quite a lot of debris that I'm going to have to clean up, and I'll show you how I do that in a moment. Okay, so here I am lifting little handfuls of the seeds with the debris outside, and as I lift them up and drop them, the lighter weight debris will, in theory, blow away, leaving the heavier seeds below. But there is quite a lot of debris here, so I think I'm going to have to sort it out a little bit more before I do this stage. So I'm putting the lettuce seeds in a sieve here, took a little bit of experimentation just to see what would work. And I'm just rubbing them through a sieve. And you can see the black things coming through in the bowl are the lettuce seeds and a little bit of debris. And I'll show you how we deal with that debris next. Okay, so I'm outside and I'm going to blow on the debris and shake the bowl of seeds. If you can do this on a breezy day, it makes the job a little bit easier, but this isn't too bad. I'm just blowing on them, and the lightweight sort of bits of the plant that we don't need are just blowing away, and the seeds are that little bit heavier and they're staying in the bowl. As you can see, there's mainly seeds left now. And here's my little collection of lettuce seeds growing now. I'll still have to go through this pile here, and there's more plants that I've dried of other varieties as well. Well, that's all for this week, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll come and join us again next time on Sow, Grow and Cook. Bye for now.